What is up, guys? This is Jared Spalding here, and today I've got kind of an interesting video for you. Of course, it still pertains to, what we normally talk about, the economy in this case, and I know, probably a very strange topic, but, of course I'm going to explain myself here, but what I'm going to be discussing today is, will legal cannabis save the United States economy? Now, you might be wondering, how those two correlated at all? Well, it's really simple. I'm not thinking of it as I'm not thinking of it as people actually buying it and, smoking it or whatever. I'm not thinking of it like among the people and its actual benefits. Of course, I do believe it has some amazing health benefits for people, and of course, further studies are going to be needed because it's only been legal for a relatively short time. If you really think about how long medicine's been around for. So sure, some more studies are definitely needed, but I do think it has some medical benefits, especially CBD. But what I'm talking about is, of course, currency. And there's a few things. Now, for one, and here's the really big one, taxes. Oh, man. You're talking about, even now, with only, I believe 4 states are legalized it recreationally, and I know over half of them, I think it's like close to 30, like 29 maybe for medical. I'm not sure the exact number. I know it's only, very few for recreationally legal. But, and I know Pennsylvania just recently passed a bill to make it medically legal also. But anyway, when it comes down to, especially recreational, a lot of people are going to be buying it, It's such a widely distributed thing, even illegal, when it's illegal. Imagine how much of it's going to be bought when it's cheaper because it's legal. Even with taxes on top of it, and I know the government's going to tax it like crazy, it's still going to be cheaper than, in the case of buying it at those hugely inflated prices due to the fact that, it's an illegal substance. So people, in a lot of places will sell it cheap enough to where even, like I said, with taxes, they want to get business, so they're going to have the price competitively is what I'm trying to say. So, of course, I know a lot of the people are concerned that, well, with taxes, there's still going to be a black market for it, but so far, things have run pretty smoothly. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what it's like in more states, but already we're seeing some huge figures in terms of sales. 2015 alone cleared a staggering amount. It's been double-digit billions for a while now, and very, very impressive to see how much, of a, economic thing this has really become in terms of taxes, because a lot of our tax money does come from things like cigarettes and, other substances like that, because they are taxed so heavily because they're luxury goods. And it's going to be the same thing with this. Taxes are going to be extremely high, and they already are in legal states, and there's going to be a lot of money being made from it from the government. Therefore, that's going to help the economy a lot. And not only that, but it's going to increase just overall, currency being spent by the people, how much is being spent, like, just overall, because it's a huge, especially when it's newer, it's a huge product that's being thrown onto the market, and more consumers are going to be just spending more currency, and of course that always helps the economy when more people are spending more. That's always a good thing. And like I said, a lot of taxes will be collected, and if people are making projections for each year how they will, it's going to think. I don't necessarily know, but I do know it's probably going to be triple-digit billions, and by the time every state's legalized it recreationally, who knows what we'll see, but there's definitely going to be a lot of tax money flowing in, and it is going to help out. Every little bit helps, and this is a huge thing, and that is one thing that I do think is definitely going to help boost the economy. And now there's another one, too, and that is, of course, the fact that it's going to clear up space in jail. Now, I know a lot of times, especially when people are younger, they'll throw them on probation for it, and, I've heard people say before that the whole reason that that's even around is just, to give people jobs. Makes sense. Probation officers and the courts, everyone, a lot of people are going to be making a decent amount of money out of that. But when it comes to people who are actually distributing it, they're going to be thrown in jail usually, especially someone over the age of 18. If you get caught multiple times as well, it's usually people who are under 18 that get their own probation, or just people who have a small amount. But if you're a multiple offender, you're probably going to be thrown in jail. And when it comes to that, over 50% of people in prisons right now in the United States are in for drug charges, and a large portion of that is, cannabis charges, which I think, honestly, there's a few things wrong with this. For one, I think it's wasting space in jails because honestly, these people, I mean, what harm are they going to be doing to others by, just smoking, right? Or whatever they were doing. And I mean, I just don't see how it's going to be hurting other people as opposed to someone, who I say was stealing, even because someone who stole was technically hurting the economy because, they took a good without paying for it, and no currency was exchanged for it, and whatever business they stole from, or wherever they stole from, is going to be losing a lot of money. But people who are just using this, using this, whether it's medical or just recreational, whatever their reasons are, they're not really hurting anyone. So I do think it's going to be wasting some space in jails, personally. And I also think it wastes police officers' time, when they have to go and pursue these people, when they could be going after bigger and better things, I guess you could say. I don't know, that's a weird way to put it, but basically, bigger charges that are actually, from people who are doing something that is going to hurt us. So I really think that not only is it going to be costing a lot of money in terms of in prison, serving them, feeding them, whatever, and wasting just space in jail, but I also think that it is going to be stealing, some precious time from people. So that's my personal opinion on it. Now, do I think that really it's going to, if the United States economy is going to collapse, this is going to be the one thing that saves it? No. We're going to have to change a lot of things. But I do think it's a start. And I also believe that, it has a lot of potential to help people, like I said, medically. So maybe it's a cheaper alternative to, these really expensive prescriptions that people will get, or chemotherapy, that type of thing. And people might be out of work for a lot less time as well. If they're getting treated for pain, let's say, with this, they might, or like, I'm trying to think of a good example here, but like, let's say someone were to have cancer, and it does turn out that this has benefits in helping to destroy cancer cells. Well, if someone's in the middle of getting chemotherapy, and that type of thing, they're not going to really be able to work because you're going through some extreme treatments. And I know they're getting less and less invasive now, but still, overall, it's not the most, amazing thing. And if you're probably going to be out of work for a while, but if you can treat it really quickly and leave the rest of the body alone, people will be back to work a lot faster. So there will be less, having to worry about that too. People will be able to be on the job longer. They won't have to worry about themselves long. So I think it's going to help a lot of people, and I think it could help the economy out too. Just my opinion on it, though. Let me know. Like I said, very weird topic to discuss. But anyway, that is it for this one. Peace, love, and much respect.